Hello, hello, and welcome, beautiful women of the world. Yes, my heart is heavy. But first of all, this is Dr. Angelika Christie. So today I started late. Not only that, but so much has been going on. I know a lot must have happened in your life as well. This is just where we are today, right? The world is changing. Everything is changing. And something that I did not expect just came as a shock, so to speak, really as a shock to me. 2 days ago, the day before yesterday, I received an email from the founder of Win-Win Women, Dr. Paula Fellingham, saying that unfortunately, the Win-Win Women is coming to an end. There were some investors that were very interested, but let's be serious. So many things have changed, and so much that you had to pay for before, because we had to pay for our shows. This is my hour, and I had it for over 3.5 years. But so much is free of charge. We can learn and we can connect online with the world in so many ways without having to pay. And you don't have to pay. You never had to pay to watch these shows, but we as hosts had to pay in order to be able to deliver our message into the world. And this is very costly. There are lots of costs involved in this. And unfortunately, what started about 3.5 years ago, and I was one of the first, I was in the first group that started Win-Win Women. It is not only not profitable anymore, but it has been draining. It has been, yes, a big expense for our beautiful founder and leader. And it's just not sustainable anymore. So, but here is, nothing, when something ends, there is always something else that becomes meaningful. So for me, it means that I still want to do the shows, but now rather than on this platform and the Win-Win Women, it will be on my YouTube channel. And my YouTube channel has the same name. Of course, it's my name, but the YouTube channel is Radiant Life After 45. And so you can find me there. So, but I will be in touch anyway. But talking about endings, this is earlier today was a partial solar eclipse. And solar eclipses throughout history have always been the end of something. It's almost like the sun has always been associated with masculinity. The king died, and many times around solar eclipses, a king would die or something would come to an end. And so today was the solar eclipse, and this is the last show, which means something is coming to an end. And when I thought about it, I mean, first of all, yesterday, the night before yesterday, I just had a very restless night. I couldn't sleep well because I was thinking 3.5 years, all of the Saturdays, the many, 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 many Saturdays, every week, every Saturday at 3 o'clock, no matter where I was, I came and connected with you on my show. that was Eastern time, whatever time it was for you, wherever you are in the world. But it was a commitment that I have. And yes, there were a few times that I missed because of unforeseeable circumstance. Either my internet went down because due to a storm, or I was traveling, I was in the air and couldn't do my show. But I did shows from airports, from other countries, from many times from hotel rooms. I mean, just traveling was never a reason for me not to do my show, not to feel that I had a responsibility to you, a commitment, because this is part of my teaching. To have success in anything, you need at least, I say 7 C's, but at least the foundational ones are the 3 C's, and that is clarity, courage, and commitment. So clarity really means, do you have clarity on what you want to do? Who are you and what do you want to bring to the world? What is your gift? You need clarity on that. So I was clear that this was from the very beginning a beautiful opportunity to speak to the women globally, women 55 and over. That was the focus of my show. And courage to just sometimes, I didn't feel like it, but this is more commitment. But sometimes I wasn't really all made up or whatever. But I said it was still important to show up. And so I did it no matter what. And the commitment is really a commitment that you take seriously. And so there has never been, in the 3.5 years, a Saturday around this time where I just didn't feel like it and didn't show up. The few times that I missed my show, there was a very, very true reason why I couldn't do it, because either I didn't have internet, or I was in the air, or I was really not, or I was very sick. I don't think that ever happened. Maybe, I don't remember. But there was that commitment. And sometimes we hold on to commitments and they become routines, right? So this will be very interesting for me, not to have that routine anymore. Of course, it will give me a certain amount of freedom because, as you see, I put on makeup and I need to dress. And it's the weekend, it's 3 o'clock on a Saturday, so I could do other things. I could be on the beach and do all kinds of things. And I was on the beach earlier, did my beach walk, and but made it back a little bit late. But I made it back in order to do the show. And that's a commitment, and it will feel a little bit strange because my inner alarm clock may say it's time to get ready for your show. And there are certain preparations. What will be the title? So a couple of days before my show, I decide on the theme that I want to talk about, the title. And I have my VA who actually creates the write-ups and the poster and the marketing for it, the advertising for my show. So you may have seen this many times. And none of that after this show will happen anymore. So there is a gap, right? But when we have gaps in our lives, they will soon be filled with something. And since this title of this episode is Make Endings Meaningful, so what how can I make this ending meaningful? I believe that I can still stay in touch, even not on this platform anymore, because that will be ending um, within a week or so. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that this is the last show, and it's amazing how it falls together with this solar eclipse, which represents the end of a cycle of something and the beginning of something new. So this is beautifully a a true representation of actually exactly that, because this is my last show. And so something else is going to happen. And what is going to happen, I still will think about it. But what I know is my YouTube channel will continue to grow, which means I will create longer or shorter episode, because I have things to share. I have important things to share. And today it's about making endings meaningful. In our lives, we have so many endings. And it starts early when we are children. There is a beginning that comes with our birth, and then there are endings in our developments. There are endings when we are not toddlers anymore. There are the beginning of our school, uh, the periods when we enter school, primary school, and then there is the ending of that. We go up a level to middle school, and then there is and high school, and then there is an ending with that. And then there comes college or university, and then there is an ending with that. And then we go into higher education, or we enter the workplace. And just thinking of workplace right now, you see all of these endings for people whose work has been declared unnecessary or not relevant anymore, or for any other reasons, maybe not affordable anymore for the company. So you see this, what's going on in the United States right now, how people are losing their employment, their jobs. And that can be very challenging. And yet, nothing ever ends. It just, when something ends, something new begins. And so rather than being terribly not only shocked, there is always a shock when something ends, especially if we loved something. I mean, just think about endings of relationships. We all go through those as well. And there is a shock, a time of, I cannot believe that this is actually happening. And yet, when there is this reality that and we cannot repair it or come back together again, we have to let it go and love it free. Because if we hang on in our emotions and in our mental capacity to want this to continue, even though it has ended, that creates havoc in our health, in our systems, and we are never really open and free to allow other opportunities to come into our lives. And that also happens when a woman loses her husband due to illness or an accident. And from being a married woman, now she is a widow. It's so hard to really get to really get used to that, accept it, and then actually embrace it. Because in the end, if you don't embrace it, you stay in the period of feeling deprived or painful or suffering in the period of mourning, and that takes a very big space in our mental and emotional bodies, which we need to deal with. And there comes a time, there is a time for everything. We know this, right? And then it goes through a development. And when the stage of first suffering and then recognizing that it's not going to change and we need to accept it, and then actually coming to a point where we see opportunities that were not there before, and opening ourselves and allowing those opportunities to show up in our lives. These are all stages. These are all new beginnings. And in the cycle, something comes to an end for something new to begin. So everything is recycled, actually. Nothing ever dies. Even your relationship, your emotional and spiritual relationship with the people, your family members, the people in your life, they are eternal, because energy does not end. Energy exists. So if you loved something, whether it's a pet or another person, that love can never be destroyed. It lives on. Even though if something is not in the three-dimensional realm anymore, which is when somebody transitions from being in the flesh, in the three-dimensional environment, into the spirit world, then that loss is, of course, felt, even though we know they still exist, but on a plane of existence that we do not have access yet, even though there are some people who can enter that frequency, put themselves into a frequency where they can communicate in the multidimensional world. We all are multidimensional beings, but in order to actually go there, we cannot take that three-dimensional physical body with us. So we can only do this in our dreams. We do it anyway in our dreams, even if we don't remember it. But some can get their astral, their spiritual body so acutely, how can I say that? So acutely established that the memory of it, once you are back into the physical body, for example, in the night and you wake up in the morning, you actually remember that, or you can go at will. You can take a journey. At will, you can go into these other realms of existence on different levels of existence, right? And we on Earth are right now upgrading, transitioning from the third dimension into the fourth and the fifth dimension. And in the fifth dimension, we have this opportunity now to actually be in that frequency with our three-dimensional physical body. A beautiful gift that has been given to us. And how we do this is really ending in the three-dimensional world that we are dealing with now, and that is kind of falling apart because the three-dimensional world is so much about duality and has become more and more about duality and war and conflict and fighting, that we have to die to that three-dimensional reality. And we can do this now with our body by taking our awareness, all of our mental and emotional capacities and capabilities from the three-dimensional way of thinking into the fifth-dimensional way of existing and being and thinking. And this is where only love, community, collaboration exists, compassion. You see, and these are all the C words that actually in my blueprint for outrageous happiness, for outrageous success, I have created all of these C's. And the first is clarity, and then comes courage, and then comes creativity, and then comes commitment and community and collaboration. And you see, all of this is really leading. That's the path into the world that we are entering now. And the creator, which is the C as well, we have that. Christ is the C as well. We are Christed beings. We have the creator within us. So when we can align with our creator, with our inner creative clarity, courage, and we can come together in communities to collaborate with our beautiful abilities to create and be supported by our beautiful Gaia, which is the earth, because the earth is actually upgrading itself also. It is transmuting its energies, its reality from the duality of the three-dimensional into the fourth and fifth dimension. And it's almost like we know that there are other dimensions that we don't have access to as long as we are in that duality and the three-dimensional world. And yet there are even animals like dolphins that have a higher ability, that have the capacity to create, to see and create sounds also that we don't hear, that is outside of our visual and audible spectrum, right? So all of this exists. And then there are the extraterrestrials, right? Our galactic family, they exist. They exist in a different dimension. And yet they have contact with us because we are multi-dimensional beings. We are not just the three-dimensional being. This body, yes, but our mind, our spirit, our imagination can go beyond this physical body, which it does in our dreams. When this body goes to sleep, a whole new world opens up for us. And so I am very, very excited actually about the ability and possibilities that exist for us three-dimensional beings. While we are multi-dimensional beings, but this body, this physical body, flesh and blood, is of the earth, and how it can go from our three-dimensional existence into a higher existence. This is the most exciting journey that we all are actually invited to be part of. So I invite you to be part of that, to stay connected with me, because I'm going to take you through this. I already live quite a bit, a lot of times in the fifth dimensional world, because by grace or by my long studies and exercises and focus on how to become more loving, how to become more connected and more being not only with the three-dimensional, but with my spirit guides and angels, and be connected as much to the heavens as to the earth. So kind of be in all of the different dimensions and worlds. And you can too. You are multidimensional. You are not just of the earth. You are immortal. You are of the spirit. Your spirit, your soul inhabits this physical body. And yet you came into this lifetime because you wanted to experience how your physical body, your three-dimensional physical body, can actually go through the fourth and the fifth dimension into a higher dimension and be active and guide those who are still living in this world of pain, physical, emotional, and mental pain, and strife, and combat, and fight. All of this is only of the lower vibration. It doesn't exist in the fifth dimension and up. Only love and joy and collaboration and excitement. So many more experiences that we are even totally unaware of, as long as we feel we can only experience the three-dimensional reality. And so if you are interested in going through this incredibly adventurous and beautiful, incredibly satisfying and exciting and beautiful, because it is community collaboration. There is a whole new world that is opening for you. On my last beach walk, this song that you may remember from, if you have children and if you like Disney movies or so, from Aladdin, a whole new world, a whole new world. And there is a whole new world that is opening up for us. If you want to be part of a whole new world of excitement, of joy, of love, of exploration, about who you truly are, beyond what you ever thought was possible, what you believed was possible, then I invite you to stay with me beyond the Win-Win Women platform, and take that journey with me into pure bliss and joy, to become the light, to become a steward of our earth, of the world, the way we want to live. What is absolutely possible, because we are capable of creating that world. Nobody will come to rescue us. We are capable of creating that world of beauty, the golden age, the Garden of Eden, however you want to call it. It exists. It's already here. It is just, we need to change our reality. We need to let go of that dense three-dimensional reality. But we can take our body into the higher dimensions. And that's an art, that's a gift. And if you're interested, let's do it together. Yes? I love you more than you can even know. And the earth loves you. And so the earth, Gaia, all of creation, all of nature loves you. You are part of nature. And the heavens love you. And our galactic brothers and sisters, whether it's from the Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, you will probably meet them if you take that journey with me. I am absolutely sure you will meet real, not just in your dreams. So are you willing? Are you excited? You want to take that trip? It's not just a trip. It is actually a development where you develop yourself in order to reach that higher dimension. And it's a development of love and of letting go of the heavy, the negativity, and everything of the dense three-dimensional existence. Be reborn into the true you, into who you truly are. Your essence is love. Your essence is beauty. Your essence is joy. And you are here in this lifetime in order to let your light shine and maybe become the forerunner and the way showers of everybody in your nook of the world or in your family or community. Feel into your body and feel if there is a desire in your soul, in your heart, because the heart is more important and more powerful than your brain. Let go of your story, of everything that was in your past. Your story is really a new story. So be part of your new story. And the partial solar eclipse of this weekend, what is today? The 29th, Saturday, the 29th of March, is the ending of the old you and maybe the beginning of the new you. Let it be that. Yes? Okay. I believe so. I invite you and I love you and you are celebrated. So become part of the celebration. So I cannot tell you come back next Saturday because this is my last show. But stay in touch with me. Stay in touch on social media with me. On my website, Angelika-Christie, CHRISTIE.com. And Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, you find me everywhere. But most of all, these videos, I will continue on my YouTube channel, which is Your Radiant Life After 55. Bye-bye for now. I love you, love you, love you.